like, you know, get everything rolling in here. But once that minute ends, then we'll start. But I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's gonna be. We're gonna be talking about a little bit, like quite a bit about some of this stuff. Like this is the like just the hunted tea stuff is already huge enough.
Yeah.
So let's all right. Well, let's start right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest, greatest, latest talk show out right now in the off-season sphere. I'm your host, OG Susano, joined by my childhood friend, my companion, my lover in secret. Don't tell his girlfriend or whoever he's talking to. It is yeah. It's lightning the joke.
Yep.
Lightning, how you
Yep.
doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm excited, man. I've always wanted to do a little talk show, just give my opinions about things, because you know there's always a lot going on in every esports scene, whether it be Call of Duty, Valorant, or freaking just in pop culture. And I want to talk about it, man. I want to talk about like Megan the Stallion on the whole on She-Hulk. I mean, come on,
Oh my gosh.
come on.
That was so
That
funny.
was I ain't
I
gonna
don't even
lie.
know my words to describe that, bro.
I ain't I don't I wasn't prepared to put that on the screen, nor do I think it's even allowed. But for those at home wondering, it was just pretty much it was
She-Hulk throwing it back with
yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion. I never thought I would ever see something like that in a sports show in my life ever.
Yeah, man, it was just pretty much just throwing it back, getting it down, and I mean, I love Megan the Stallion, but hey, at the end of the day, it is a Marvel show. Stan Lee is groveling in his grave right now. But
I wonder what his reaction would be. He'd probably honestly like it. I mean,
you think he
I wouldn't
would?
blame him.
You think he likes it when chicks throw it back at him?
Oh, 100%. He's probably been fiending for that.
He's an old man though. Like his heart rate would probably go.
Yeah.
He'd probably
I
have a
mean,
heart attack.
I don't know if She-Hulk was the one I wanted to do it, but like maybe Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, that would have been fire. But like I'm down for She-Hulk too.
Man,
Whatever I can get, I
her
guess.
contract is still live, if I remember. But well, we got a couple of things we need to talk about today. Let's start with the biggest one right now. Let's talk about what happened with Hunted T and Frosty, because I mean, this was everywhere. This was literally, quite literally, the biggest story that happened just this week. I mean, like, gosh dang, like,
100%.
I was baffled by it. I mean, just let's just look at what was happening right here, and then, Mike, I'm gonna ask you what you think. But this is Jake Lucky,
Yeah.
the verified source man himself, former mob member Frosty, has spoken of a lot about his past situation with 100 Thieves, saying that they were paid less than what their rent was. 100 T took 95% of sponsorship deals that they brought to the mob, money being a real issue for the guys, among other things. And you can see right here, like we were talking about the rent, 2,500, and they were only getting paid 1,650. So many days where they had to skip meals. Now, look, we have a lot of information post this. So at hindsight, everybody was shocked. I was shocked as well. I was like, ain't no way 100 Thieves is doing this type of thing. And, imagine we had enough money where we didn't have to stress over where our next meals come from. Just a whole lot of sob story stuff. Be young, dumb, put all the blame on stuff. Think about how I see they took complete advantage of us. Talking about Tfue when they took 80% from FaZe. He said try 95%. And then it was just bad. I mean, you look at this one right here. The first 4 months we moved to LA, our internet can support more than one person streaming at the same time. I mean, look, Mike, we are men of industry. We see a problem, we fix it.
I agree.
Know?
I 100% agree with you.
4 months of bad internet? Like, come on. Come on. How are you going to allow 4 months just to go by, not only as a signed 100 Thieves member, but just as a content creator? I moved into this new house and I was fiending at Xfinity for a whole day just to get my internet back up and running, and we got it done.
That's good. No, yeah, I mean, you know where we come from. We come from fucking nothing. So whenever I moved out here, and in the COD house that I'm in, the internet fucking sucks. So I knew I couldn't play from there because I just lag all the time. And I knew definitely I couldn't stream from there, and my PC is just not good either. So if I want to do anything, literally anything, I come to the fucking arena and do what I need to do. I'm like, if I had bad internet for 4 months like this guy, I would have done something. Like, there's no way I'm just not gonna like not do anything. You
Like
know what I
like
mean? Especially if
move
I'm living in a gamer
houses.
house. Especially if I'm living in a gamer house for sure.
Like you got to move houses, get out of there, like, or switch providers. I mean, like, it's just uh, like in hindsight, there was a lot of laziness, man, like a lot. And dude, it was bad, man. I mean, like we had Nadeshot coming out, and this is him talking about the situation with Hex and the content house. Because I mean, my gosh, like this was he's been through it. He knows what he's talking about. And so so this is what he had to say about that.
And so that's why we're up every single day in the master bedroom of the content house, stacked 5 heads deep on fold out tables and chairs, streaming 12 hours a day. You finish your stream, you get off, you upload a YouTube video, you go to sleep, you wake up, you do it again. Every fucking day. Every day. Because I wasn't going back to fucking McDonald's and I wasn't going back to community college.
I mean, like,
it looked like he was about to start crying, honestly. Like, he started reminiscing on his old moments. Like, whenever you had to just grind. You have to just grind.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, when you got people like Frosty that are so, entitled, and you have like this mentality. He said it himself. They'd wake up, 12-hour stream grinds, do a video, go back to bed. And he also talked about, I know, like, there's a huge, like, like, I could go to YouTube real quick and just look up, Frosty Nadeshot, and just like to see, just from the VOD. I mean, like, it was bad. Like,
these guys.
He even mentions it like somewhere in there, just like, when they were there, he had like he had no bed, he had no, like actual like living sustainability. It was just grind. And when you have people like Frosty that come in and also they did not, 100 Thieves did not pick the house for Frosty and them. They picked it. So the house and all that was completely on their own.
I mean, yeah, bro, like, I don't know. Whenever it's your job to literally just record videos and stream, I mean, I feel like that's all of our dream jobs, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
I mean, personally, I feel like if I was in that situation, I would have been grinding. Like, I wouldn't have been complaining like they were. I mean, then again, I wasn't in their position. But if I'm doing what I love, like, I don't really care if financial things don't really matter that much to me. If literally I'm doing my dream, then that's enough to like keep me going. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the dream, and Nadeshot talked a little bit about it more on the stream where, he saw that they were internet personalities. They had this huge, like, mob culture, just like their name, of just Twitter followers. And, that's why he signed them on. He liked them a lot. They were his day ones. And then you got, Frosty and all of them that don't really put in the work. And he pulled up his stream analytics. Let me try to find it real quick here. Yeah, like, look at this. His average hours in a month, and this is a month, Mike, 40 hours on stream.
That's crazy.
I work my normal job for 40 hours a week.
Yep.
And I don't like that.
There are gamers that aren't even like in a position like Frosty at all who are putting 200 hours a week. Like my friend Herbie, shout out Herbie, I love Herbie.
We love Herbie.
Apex, and he streams like 200 hours a week. Like, he literally posted his Twitch analytics like a few days ago. I'm like, if this motherfucker had the viewership like Frosty, he'd be a fucking millionaire or something. I don't know.
He'd be another his Watson, man. Like,
yeah.
It's super baffling. It really is. And this was like the stream dynamic from when he was on 100 Thieves to the end, and the maximum like his average amount of viewers was around 200 to like 300. So it wasn't a ton, especially as a member of 100 Thieves. Like he was saying in the video, in this stream, I know you weren't able to, really watch it. I was glued to it, man. Like every second I was listening to this when it came out. Like they gave them the platform. They just weren't doing the work. I would say though, out of all of them, and he even backed it over receipts, was definitely Classify. That guy would put in the grind. He put on his Twitter like all of the receipts, like this is what I was doing, this is what we were doing, like despite our our shortcomings. So I mean it's still is not. It's an excuse. It's an excuse at the end of the day, because men like us, who are men of industry that work hard, find resolutions to our problems, and especially like somebody who's in a position like that, because you've made it. You are a member of 100 Thieves, quite
and your
literally.
job is to stream to other people and play video games. That is your job. Whenever you stream, you're doing your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It just comes down to laziness, really does.
You are a part of a top 3 org. Like, out of all the organizations that every esports fan has, 100 Thieves is most definitely in their top 3 that they want to be at. So
I would love to be on 100 Thieves.
I would love to be on 100 Thieves too, but I mean, sometimes you need to realize what you're doing is either holding you back or you're holding yourself back. And in this situation, he was most definitely holding himself back. So, Nadeshot talked a little bit more about, just that they didn't do the work. They were not really, forthcoming with their problems. And that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, we can go on and on and on and on and on about it, but at the end of the day, they just were not working, and
they didn't care that much, for sure.
And Nadeshot gave him the gosh dang opportunity of a lifetime. Q Drewski saying, I will not be disrespected, because if I'm Nadeshot, I'm not being disrespected.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, okay. Well, now we can talk about a little bit more about something else now, just to lighten the mood. But the biggest thing right now, we did just have the Seattle Surge come out and confirm their roster for the MW2 2022-2023 season. And they're running it back.
No reason to switch it up, to be honest. So it's a good move in my opinion.
They were what, top 3 at champs, right?
I believe so. I think top 4, maybe 2.
I mean, yeah, in terms of our regular ratings, they were definitely top 4.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's just one of those things, man, that you see this team that was in prime position that you want to run it with them. I mean, if they beat FaZe, I think at the end, then I think
they win the whole thing.
I think they might have won the whole thing. But LA Thieves, I'm not gonna lie, and this might be a little bit biased because I was an LA Thieves fan there at the venue. They were shooting in like high form, man. Like they were definitely heating up at the right moments, at the right times, and clearly it paid dividends. So
yeah,
glad to see that they're running it back.
I loved Octane's finally winning something. I really brought me a little smile to my heart, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but, he said it himself. He was like, everybody was always saying that Octane's a great player, but he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have, he doesn't have an MVP. And so it was hard because, like, I agree. Octane's definitely top 5 AR in the league right now. Top 5 overall, maybe, in my opinion. But
I'd agree with you.
But still. That's why I like it when these teams run it back. And, talking about running back, Optic Texas are running it back too. I was swindled. I was swindled.
Yeah, I was not expecting them to like say psych and just get back together after like a couple of days of talking or whatever that Seth said. But I mean, they did, and I guess, I mean, they're back for next year, so that's cool.
Yeah, after doing a little bit more investigation on like why, he pretty much said like they did make the change and they were dropping Dashy and Illy. In my opinion, a huge mistake because at this point, Dashy most likely would have gone to FaZe. And that FaZe roster with Dashy, like...
that would have been an unkillable roster.
Oh, that like
would have been an unkillable roster.
A top 2 team becomes top 1 indefinitely. Like...
Yeah. In terms of slaying 100%, no one could kill him. No one would be able to kill him at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like they just have the shooters that shoot, man. Yeah. And Illy, I mean, he's a great mind at the end of the day. He knows a lot about the game, the ins and outs, the workings, the kinks, the crants, all of the corners, everything you can want to learn, you got to learn from this guy. So definitely I was just like, I get it because the thumb situation, but still overall, that's just not fair.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone was gonna get dropped, I guess I would have picked Illy. I suppose.
Yeah.
Or I mean, Seth. I mean, he's undroppable. Like
He is
regardless
the
if he's
franchise
there or not,
player. He is the franchise
is-
player.
He's undroppable. No one can drop him. He is the definition of you can't drop this guy. But so I guess it would have been Illy to go. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really know if they're gonna do that good this year, to be honest with you.
I mean, Seth said it himself. He said, when it came down to it, we decided, we didn't give ourselves a fair chance this year. And I'm not gonna lie, after Major 2, it just felt like the team was not the same. It did not feel like they were the same at all. And so I 100% agree with him. When the team went, when they found out about the Illy thing and then the Pro-Am came up and they were like, all right, well, Illy's back. And then they put in General, and then General wasn't really performing the best because, I mean, you have two mains in a team, and it's kind of a hard one at the end of the day. And then Major 3 doesn't really happen again. Major 4, they finally get him back, but it just still felt like the hollow shell of a team that was at Major 1.
Yeah, I feel you. I 100% agree with you for sure.
So I'm glad that they're running it back. I just know that after this year, if there's no signs of success or any results,
Scum's retiring. Scum's retiring next year.
No, bro.
He's
No.
retiring, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, but I know he is. I know.
Yeah. I know within either this game or the next game, he's 100% retiring. And at the end of the day, you got to give your salutes. You got to give your props, your flowers to the man. He pioneered this industry with a lot of the early guys.
He was my favorite COD player. He was the one that, I guess, the one that I really look up to when I first started competing when I was, 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy for me. So whenever I see him retire, it's really going to be, really heartbreaking. That's I wouldn't say he's my hero, but, he's like my COD father, I guess. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's a lot of ours college father. Mine was Nadeshot, so I mean, just the IGLing, all that stuff. I guess that kind of makes sense to how we play now. I'm more of an IGL now when I hop in, especially like Valorant. I'm telling people what to do. I'm like, yo, you don't know what the freak you're doing.
Yeah, I'd gun him personally. He's not gunning me, but yeah.
He's not gunning me.
Yeah, I feel you for sure.
For sure. But and then last with the running it back teams. LA Thieves, come on. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, of course they're gonna stick together. They just won champs, of course. There's no reason for them to split.
You look at the points that we had, dude. From Major 4, they were top They were 7th or top 6, and then they just jump to 3rd after that win.
I was not expecting them to win at all until they got to top 3. I thought they were gonna win because. Actually, no. I didn't think they were going to win. I thought FaZe was going to win the whole time. I'm not even going to lie.
I thought FaZe was going to win just because of the storylines, man. They were finally going to win something. But, I mean, it's a tough one at the end of the day. But, no-brainer. LA Thieves running it back. Great roster overall. I mean, this roster had the signs. I knew, and like I say again, I can't really say too much because I was a biased LAT fan. A lot of the things I'm going to be saying are going to sound more like, oh, he's a fan. He's a fan at the end of the day. But, I mean, still, at the end of the day, this team had the signs of success. It was just a matter of playing the test of time. And they played the test of time. They win champs. Who would have thought?
Also, I think it's just Vanguard, to be honest. Vanguard day-to-day switches up for everyone, so it's whatever.
I hop on, and I immediately uninstall. So, I probably have less than a day hours on that game. So
that's crazy.
I did not grind it, and I'm proud to say that. CDL, do not find me. I'm not even contract. Wait, actually, I might be. Hold on. What? Well, I mean, let's talk about something new. A team that blew it up. Someone that me and you know is the Minnesota Rocker.
Let's go, Kev. I'm a huge Kevin Fame fan.
Huge Kevin Fame fan. I mean, you drop everybody pretty much. You just keep attaching and keep Fame, which at the end of the day, we all thought Fame was about to be the man himself on the sticks with the keys.
I thought he was going to be the one that they build the roster around for sure, too. I also thought that.
I thought it was going to be just Kevin's biggest moment in the sun,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they put him back as the substitute. But, I mean, he will have his moment. We know it's coming. The guy grinds 100%. Hard for it. But they pick up Afro. They keep attached. Bance and Canny. On paper, Mike, This is a nasty roster.
I love the Bance pickup and the Cammy pickup. I think both of them together in Cold War, I'd watch them a lot because those are like that duo was just so smart. And in Cold War, Toronto Ultra was just running everything with FaZe. Toronto Ultra and FaZe was just winning everything. So I really wanted to base my style along like the Bance and Cammy duo because Bance would do so much like intangible shit from them, and I would try to look at it. And so I really love that pick personally. And attached, he's the face of the team. That's just the way it is. He's not going to get dropped. I think they should put Kevin Fame in place of Afro personally. I don't know. Like I said, I'm biased. I'm heavily biased because I love Kevin and I love the duo of Bance and Cammy. And attach isn't going to get dropped, so it doesn't matter what I think. But I think if it was Fame on the squad along with attached Bance and Cammy, that would be a dangerous squad.
It would be quite literally one of the most dangerous squads, I think. But if Afro does not, pick up the slack from where he left off, I mean, I say slack, but the guy was still pulling numbers, If he does, somehow drop off, I think definitely we're going to see Kevin Fame hop in, and 100%. And that's going to be all of us, cue the Joe Rogan clip where everybody's freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. Yeah. We're all freaking out. We're probably all going to be there at the venue. Maybe we'll get another Minnesota event, and I'll definitely be there 100%. But, I mean, still, like Crone put, but yeah, continue.
I was going to say, I teamed with Kevin, but we both came up at the same time back in Black Ops 4, and we teamed on land twice, and we've scrimmed a lot together. Me and him were like basically brothers back in the day. So, like, I know what kind of player he is, and I know the players he needs around him to be successful. And I think Bance and Cammy will definitely help him. And him and Attach are actually really good friends. So I think he would flourish with this squad if he would actually be on the main team. So.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. He much like us is a man of industry. He's just fiending for that opportunity. And now that he's in prime position, like.
He's gonna get it. I know he is. I know he's gonna get it.
He's definitely gonna be that guy when the time comes. I think he's gonna have just the same effect as Standy had the moment he got dropped in on that roster. So, if you remember, right when Standy got dropped in, bro was dropping 2.0s on kids just like nobody's business.
Yep.
And Crone did put here, which I do have to mention because, version 1 have that money. They got that moolah. All right. So, he says a lot of pressure to succeed here, considering the amount of money that's likely going into the roster, but hopefully it all pays off. And with Cammy's, large buyout fee being roughly around $150K to $200K. Oh my gosh. That's a big number.
Imagine being worth that much as a player, bro. That's crazy.
I'm worth a pack of Pringles and some Skittles. maybe a free ride as a second AR at a college place, but I don't know. But it's crazy. I mean, this team, like it said, like Crone put, it's got a lot of money behind it, and we've seen before how teams like this either pop off or they fall,
or don't do anything at all,
or fall in dismay. And talking about teams that fell in dismay, the Optic Chicago team in Cold War, that was such a star-studded roster that just fell in dismay. So I'm a bit worried, but we'll see as time goes on. The next one that I'm personally really excited about, is the Los Angeles Gorillas, bro. You got Hook, Neptune, and Spart all running it back. Then you pick up the beast himself, man. Arcides.
I think this squad is gonna do so well too. One, I'm a huge Spart fan. I think that guy's winning in every aspect of his fucking life right now, personally. Like, his family supports him. Like, he literally lived the dream whenever he got subbed into at that event and won that event, bro. That is everyone's dream, and he popped off, and bro, it was amazing. And I mean, he was a pro, and then he got dropped, and then he finally grinded all that time again to make it back to being on a solid position. Another great thing. And he's got a great girlfriend too, and all of his homies that all support him. Like, this guy is like literally living everyone's like fucking dream life right now, and I am all for it. I love seeing like the success story. And then he was my favorite player in Modern Warfare because he ran
Mhm.
Smoke Trophy, and I was a Smoke Trophy player, so I love that guy too.
I mean, dude, like the biggest thing like about like Spark, dude. I talked to him at Champs just to like see where his head was at going into next season. Dude, like you said, man, the guy's just winning, man. He's feeling good. Like
He's just winning at life right now, bro. He really truly is.
he's feeling real good. He's got like a nice smile to him and a great vibe. So I'm definitely thinking this roster is gonna be at least top 4, if not top 6 this year. You know,
And he's handsome.
he's a very
And he's
handsome guy.
Hispanic. Like, what more can we ask for?
I know, él es un hombre
rep-
de nuestra cultura.
He's
You know,
repping the homies.
he's one of the people, man.
He's one of the people. Man.
He's one of our peoples, you know.
Yeah.
But the biggest one, you know, that we got to talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, is Arcides, you know, like
Yep.
him being dropped off of that phase roster. I mean, it sucks. It really does, because that was most definitely a top 2 team, 100%. That team was definitely they were contesting every major except for Major 4, and Champs. You know,
Yeah.
so if that doesn't tell you the potential of that team.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think this slasher pick over Arcides, clearly, I think overall, I think Arcides is 100% a better player over slasher, like in almost every single category. In my opinion.
Agreed.
But I think slasher is gonna provide this whole new vibe to the team and gonna provide that fucking leadership mindset, and also just get all that toxicity, like a new like slate, if that makes sense. I mean, we all heard about all the toxic stuff on the FaZe roster during the season. So I think once they remove Arcides and they get a guy like Slasher who's not gonna put up with shit like that, who's gonna keep you on your fucking shit, I think that's gonna be really, really great for the roster. And I think a lot of people think it's gonna be shittier with Slasher. I think it's gonna be either the same or better, at least like mentally for sure. I think it's gonna be better. I think they're gonna lose a big gun on the team. Like, you're right. RCD is really fucking good. They're gonna lose a huge slaying part of their roster, but I feel like it's gonna bring a whole different dynamic on the team, and they're gonna play different, not as kill heavy, in my opinion.
I definitely see this team being very, you know, aggressive in their strategy. But, you know, since we're already talking about it, let's talk about Atlanta FaZe. But I mean, dude, like, in my opinion, I'm very worried. I am very worried. I see if this team does not succeed at all this year, we could possibly be seeing another blow it up situation. And, you know, I think they keep selling him and they keep building around him. Because, I mean, the guy, MVP of the year, you know, craziest performance. But then, you know, we talk about I would say the most consistent player is definitely you know, Celium. But then the most valuable player of the whole year was definitely Pred. But that's a whole nother story of how we format things. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's difficult because Slasher, you know, we've heard about how he is. You know, the beginning of 100 Thieves, Venom and Slasher did not go well. You know, you can tell like he's still got that old head mentality. You know, where he's like, you do your job and you do it right, or you get off this damn team. You know, and maybe that's what Atlanta FaZe needs, you know? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I really do. I really think he's going to provide that.
You know, so maybe that hard cut, you know, cold attitude is what's going to carry this team to possibly more victories, or hell, even a victory here in these majors that are coming up, because we've got a lot this year. I think we've got 5 majors, a Pro-Am, and a possibility of more events after Champs because of the connected seasons. But still, I mean, this roster, you know, like Crone says here. Crone says it perfectly. Most of the community struggled and are still struggling to come to terms that Atlanta FaZe are moving on without Arcides. But everything you've heard is true. The franchise really is replacing their veteran leader and likely already made their decision according to Zuma. And it was already confirmed. We saw the by the way, that was a dope graphic. The like whole Thanos with the gauntlet thing. That was really dope.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Most people behind the scenes and in the community believe Slasher is the most probable move for FaZe, but from my understanding as of yesterday, no deal had been completed. But this doesn't mean he's the forward, just means it wasn't official at that time. But it has already been confirmed. We've already seen the signing. And so I agree with you, Mike. I think this is just what the team needs. I think if the team can have somebody who's going to, shut down any sort of naysaying, I mean, RC's a great leader at the end of the day, but he's a very creative leader, He's very creative in the way that he, talks to people. Scumpa and Formal have said it themselves. He's a very good teammate at the end of the day. He's very nice, and he's very understandable. But I think, at this point, we need somebody clear cut that's just going to be, and cutting up the team and telling them what to do.
100%. Someone less emotional.
Exactly.
Great.
So we'll see what Atlanta FaZe do, but definitely, worries me that this team could possibly go from T2 to T6. So we'll see. But
I still think they're going to be good, but yeah, for sure.
We'll see. I mean, I like I said, I think they could be good too. Toronto Ultra. This one is an interesting one. You drop Cammy, you drop Bance, and then you bring up Scrappy, which, by the way, I will say that Scrappy is nasty.
He is really good.
He is hella good. I was there at Champs watching that guy play. Dude, he was making some lights out plays. Now, unfortunately, he didn't win against Brack, but, I mean, dude, the guy was just that person on the stage, man. He was making plays. Him and Vikul were just absolutely insane. So we'll see how that one goes later on. But, I mean, you've got Kleenex. You keep in Kleenex. You keep Insight. And apparently Insight is the IGL, so he's the brain behind the operation. This is the one that I heard about today was Standy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mike?
I mean, I actually heard that Standy was going to Florida, but I guess I'm wrong.
No, they made the switch today. It happened today, where they're talking about where they got the leaks.
I honestly, truly, I feel like this squad is just gonna straight be like crackness. I don't really know Insight's IGL. I've played against him. I've never played with him. I've played against Kleenex. I've played with Standy. I feel like Standy's a good listener, a good follower, not necessarily like a leader or like an IGL type thing. Me personally, I'm saying that. But so I don't really know how this team is gonna be like as a unit. I feel like they're gonna get their kills. I feel like kills aren't gonna be a problem for this team at all. I just feel like it's gonna be a matter of getting on the same page on what they want to do and how they want to do it. But I feel like gun skill wise, I feel like this is like a top 3 team in my opinion. Top 3 team easily.
I definitely can see that. Like you said, the biggest thing that worries me is just the like operational like capacity that this team's gonna have. You talk about like operational capacity. You think about like LA Thieves. You think about like last year's Atlanta FaZe. Like the team were just like very methodical on the map. They had a lot of good routes they were hitting. They were doing the job that needed to be done. The dirty work was kind of spread all around. In this instance, like you said, it's so cracked out that I think there's gonna be, what's it called? Well, like a Nets, like you keep up with basketball?
No, I don't keep up with basketball. I'm a gamer.
Well, I mean, of course, but like the Nets had like crazy amounts of like just like talent on their team.
Yeah, just talent. Yeah,
and it was just talent, and it was not equaling out results. So this could be a problem here. But as we say it, potentially Standy will start in the place of Hixie. So we'll see how that one goes on. This is definitely a cracked out roster that could be T4. I mean, Toronto Ultra have always been a great team.
Yeah. I think gun skill wise is a top 3 team. Top 3 easily.
Agreed. It's just a matter of the brain behind the operation. If Insight's going to be able to reel those dogs in, So
yeah.
But now we've got a couple more. I mean, we can't even really talk about Ravens or Legion. Those are going to be short ones. But I mean, Boston Breach, I think, is the biggest one right now that needs to just solidify and confirm. I mean, there's so much talent right now in like this pool of free agents. When they said Beans, I thought it was your teammate Beans. I was like, ain't no way Beans has already got an offer, bro. But no, it was Beans from the Toronto Ultra EU. Yeah.
This roster, I think if Awakening is on it, I think they're gonna be really good. I'm not sure. I've never seen this Beans play, but I'm assuming since he's in the Pro League, he's actually pretty good. I've never seen him play. I know my Beans. I would take my Beans over this Beans any day. But Nero, I've played with him. I played against him. That guy's really good. He's always had that skill, that talent. I just feel like he needs some more time to polish it. Vivid, I've played with him and I've played against him as well. He's had couple years already, or a couple CODs already in the pro league, and I think he's getting to where he needs to get. And Methods, I mean that motherfucker's just all experience, honestly. As long as he has, I feel like Methods can do the same thing with this team that Accuracy is doing with Seattle Surge, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, like the level of experience that Methods bring. I mean, he's been in the league, like just in the pro scene for a very long time. This is going to be another dark horse candidate for me. This team could either really pop off and just show us right from the get-go, because, I mean, you got to think, Boston Breach lose their last year to LA Thieves in a round 11 game 5 at Champs.
Yep.
You know, they were most definitely the dark horses of that event. And, you know, just looking at it right now, you keep Nero, Vivid, Methods. I mean, the sky's the limit. I always said that TJ Halley was the one holding this team back. I don't think
TJ's that good. I really don't.
Like, no offense to him, he's a good player, but his pop-off factor was not always on. You know, they relied on him to pop off way too much. And when you rely on one player to pop off like that, you know.
And they don't have that ability, not all the time anyway. It's not as consistent.
Yeah, then that team's going to be held back. And that's exactly what we saw. There was just too many times where, like that match against LA Thieves, TJ was on a ringer. But then towards the end, you know, they decide to make a play towards mid and they all get shot down. Like, I don't know whose play that was, but, you know, it's just at the end of the day, you got as a player, you know, you can definitely relate. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. Yep. If you're not consistent, you're letting your team down. You're not giving them the results they need out of you.
I feel that.
You know,
but if this New York Subliners team is for real, I am very excited to see what they do, though.
I mean,
I'm very excited. I think the New York Subliners team, if that is the roster, that is going to be disgusting. I think that's going to be a really fucking good team.
I mean, yeah, you've got Kismet, who is confirmed. You've got Hydra, Skies, and Priesta. I mean, this is a good team on paper.
On paper, it's a really good team.
This is a damn good team. You got Hydra and Kiz, who, I mean, the year already spoke to what they were doing. They were crazy. Yeah. Then you've got Priesta. Bro, the most do-it-all guy.
Yeah, the most do-it-all flex I've ever seen. Probably.
Like, come on. And then you got a great main in Skies. He's a great main. Sure. I think him and Awakening were just, it was just a duo that wasn't really having too much synergy, which I agreed. Like, this change should have happened a lot sooner.
A long time ago, yeah.
You know, after MW, you know, I think we definitely should have seen a departure of one of those guys from that Florida roster, because they were good in their own respects, but they just weren't synergized. And as an AR duo, you got to be synergized. You know, you got to have good chem with your fellow AR. So, like you said, this is a nasty one on paper. But the biggest one that worries me is that Hydra is still being offered around. You know, who knows what his agent's thinking? What is his agent going to be doing? I mean, it's just a heavily rumored team. And when we say heavily rumored, I mean, that's most likely confirmed, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Hydra's going to stick on Subliners, personally. I think he's just not going to go anywhere.
I think he's their you know, franchise player at the end of the day. You know, like he's the scump of New York, most definitely.
You think so?
I think so, 100%. But you know, they've always had problems apparently. So I mean, we got rid of most of the team. A lot of the coaching staff is out. You know, it's time to just, you know,
basically a whole new team.
Take a deep breath, and we go into this new year ready to roll, ready to rock. We've got good teams, good teammates. So that's all I have to say really about the New York Subliners. Great potential, possibly a top 3 team here.
I'm excited for them. If that's the team, I'm excited to see them play.
And now we get to the most controversial one right now. The Florida Mutineers. I mean, Mutineers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am not expecting them to do anything. I really am. I'm not gonna lie.
This latest iteration, I like a lot more. The iteration before, was mid-nears 100%. Where it was like standing like a couple of other guys. Like, I did not like that roster at all. It just seemed so feng shui that we were not going to get good results. But this one, I mean, you've got Brack, you've got Havoc, you've got Vikol, and you've got Major Maniac. This is another one where on paper, this should be good. And then poor Dave Patty, man. They keep him like in the team just to put him as the sub. So, you know.
I think if you're saying mid, I think bottom tier, to be honest. Like lowest 4 teams.
I see this team barely cinching champs.
Shit, I don't know. Maybe I'll give you that maybe, but I don't see them doing anything. I truly, really don't.
It's one that, like, they have the right components. I mean, you have Vikol, you have Major Maniac, two players that can definitely bring this team to some glory. And then Havoc and Brack, I mean, they've spent their time in the pits, man. They're ready to finally shine, you know. Brack, you know, he was a substitute for Toronto Ultra during his MW inaugural year. And then now he's ready to roll. He wins Challenger Champs. Like, come on. The guy, look, it's a bit of a bias. I've been with Brack for a while. I've known the guy. We've talked a lot. And he is definitely ready. He is ready to display his skill to the league. But
I think the reason I think that they're not going to be that good is because it just feels so thrown together. Like, I feel like they didn't really think, in my opinion. I don't know. But maybe they'll prove me wrong during the season and actually go fucking crazy. But I'm not really getting any, like, special vibes from them. Like, looking at them on paper, I don't really think they're going to do much.
Well, we are going to have to see, man, because this is, like, I agree. This could really be good or this could really be bad. Like I said, I mean, I possibly most likely see this team barely cinching champs at, like, top 8. But now we get to the London Royal Ravens. Lord knows what's going on with these guys, man. Like, what the heck? Like, dude. Paul X, Zero, and Nasty, like, where's Gizmo, you know? Like, I know they got rid of most of the roster, but from what I heard, they were possibly going to run it back, you know? Which, you know, at the beginning of the game at Vanguard, they were a top 3 team. They were up there with Optic and FaZe. And then all of a sudden, I feel like after Gizmo departed for a while due to his grievance, you know, then it just got really bad. And the team just wasn't putting up the numbers that we expected to see out of them. I mean, they did lose to, what was it? I think it was Seattle Surge. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I know they lost to them, but I don't know if they got bumped out to them. So, you know, we're going to have to wait, do another episode when we get the full updated roster for this one because, you know, Paul X, Zero, and Nasty, I mean, that one already is pretty okay. You know, they get a 4th that can round it out, then possibly top 6 team right there.
I think they should scrap the whole thing, or unless they want to keep Nasty in there. But I think they should go look for new talent, in my opinion, personally.
Some new pastures.
I don't think anything is going to be special from this squad that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, like I said, top 6 maybe? I don't know. But we can't really say too much. Nothing's been confirmed. There's not even heavy rumors. The only heavy rumor is Paul X. But are Ravens really willing to, you know, buy out his contract from NYSL? I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. No offense. No offense. I'd rather go.
Paul's a great player. I don't think he's worth buying out and building your whole roster around him. But
I think like you say, you just start new pastures, man. Like, just throw everything away. I mean, I'd love to get a London Royal Ravens jersey with Lightning the Joke on it, you know.
That'd be huge.
But that's just me. Expansion win? Gosh dang. I mean,
we need that. Holy shit.
I need that 100%, bro. This is a team that I am very excited for. Like, super excited for. Because of the amount of talent that's just in the pool right now, Las Vegas Legion can just turn it all around. Around.
Realistically, they can get a lot of people and help make their roster pretty good.
You've got Asum. You've got Clayster. You've got Crim 6.
Yep.
Crim 6.
Clay is coming back to the league, bro. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Clay
Oh
is coming
my
back.
gosh,
Clay is coming
dude.
back.
You got all this talent that's just sitting there, dude. You know, you got the possibility of Karma coming back. You've got the possibility.
Karma's not coming
I mean, he hinted at it, but we don't know. Possibly
He's
not
trolling.
likely.
He's trolling.
He's been a trolly guy lately, but
If anyone's coming back, it maybe be formal. Maybe be formal.
I mean, shoot, Halo's not even doing anything, man. So maybe
Yeah, Halo's not doing shit, so he might come back.
possibly. But like I said, there's just so much. I mean, you got Gunless as well in there, you know, like
Yeah.
TJ
Yeah,
Halley.
Gunless is
There's
I don't know about TJ. I think TJ's done, bro.
low key, maybe. Hey, the one funny thing I have to mention though is that when I was at Champ, Scrappy, he called out Tej and he said, you know, I can't wait to see you here next year, Tej, at the pit. And then he gets dropped. That was funny. So
Yeah.
Scrappy spoke into existence. But I mean, you've got Temp, solid player. You know, some would say he's a stat patter. I don't know. I mean, the guy has always been in weird situations, but somehow has made himself look good.
I don't know, honestly. I don't really think Temp is that standout of a player to me. I mean, I've never played with him. I don't know what he has to offer, like communications-wise or as a teammate-wise. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see who they decided to build upon, or who they decided to put around him. I think Clay is definitely coming back to the league. I don't know what team he's getting on, but he is coming back.
I would think this team, I could see a Temp Clayster duo right there. And then like with all the talent that's in challenges right now,
In there? Ooh.
dude, if this is a AR dominant game, like I could definitely justify having 3 ARs on this team. But that's pretty much it. Coaching staff changes. I mean, like what,
I don't really keep up with any
the coaching staff changes. Like, yeah, you drop Bevels from LEG. I quote the great Patrick Price here. If your team is stuck in mediocrity, it's time to drop the staff.
You think so?
I think like one team for example, if the Minnesota Rocker don't do good this year, I think you get rid of everybody there. I think you get rid of the coaches, you get rid of the team management. It's time to get some new brains in there to start thinking, man.
Yeah.
Because
I think the best coach is Phoenix. Coach Phoenix on Seattle Surge. That motherfucker. That guy knows what's up. And I think they need to give Ronan a fucking position to these teams.
mm-hmm.
For sure. In my opinion. I think some of these pro coaches don't do shit. And I personally, speaking from experience, I know that Ronan and I know that Phoenix especially do go above and beyond truly for what they like, for their passion. This is their passion. And I know that they would do so well if you were to implement them on any one of these teams. So I think they deserve a spot.
I think so too. I think that that Phoenix is definitely a great coach, man. The way he had a turnaround year with the Seattle Surge, absolutely amazing. But yeah. I mean, that's pretty much going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. There's not really too much else to go on about. Thank you guys for the first episode. We'll probably be doing this on a weekly basis just so we have a lot to talk about instead of a more daily basis like the flank. So if we do decide to do event coverage, we'll probably do it at the end of the event more than like day by day. Just to give, you know, the more of the bigger picture instead of a nice little slice chop. But hey, as time goes on and the audience grows, we might be able to do that. I mean, it's just me and Lightning now and our editor, graphic designer Elver. So big shout out to him. This is just going to go up to YouTube just like how it is. So after this, I'll just send it over to YouTube from the Twitch VOD. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys once again. You have a great night. Lightning, thank you for coming on. We'll have
I appreciate you having me on, buddy. I appreciate you having me on.
It's always a great time, my friend. Always a great time. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Without further ado, this is the end of the stream. Have a great night. God bless.